Welcome to week 5. We're going to get into layout and composition this week. But before I kind of get into the content, I want to clear up some confusion that there seems to be going on. And it's my fault. It's not your fault. You've been led astray a little bit. Because in my previous courses and previous semesters, I've had students actually go through and build a blog and then submit their assignments on the blog and then just send me the URL. Submit the URL in the assignment itself and go that way. That was a little bit problematic for some students, and so for this semester, which is my last semester, by the way, I'm deciding to just have you go through and upload your assignments directly to the assignment thread, to that specific assignment thread, and you can do that. If you just click on the File tab, there should be a dialog box there that you could pop your files into. Some of you are going through and actually integrating your take into a document and writing about your document and then uploading that as a PDF, and that's great. That works out really, really well. Either way, you want to do that, that's fine. If you just want to upload your photographs as files and then put your commentary in the comment section, you can do that. Number of ways that you can do this. Probably the easiest one, though, to do might be just to build a Word document or a Pages document, and then with your images and then with your metadata and your description of what maybe that particular rubric is asking you to do, and then wordsmith that, save that as a PDF, and then upload it. Might be the easiest way to go there. All right, hope that clears up some kind of confusion there. As I hinted to, this is, I wasn't planning on it, but this is my last class that I'll teach for Dixie State University. I retired last May, and I teach now up here at a performing arts high school. And today just happens to be a snow day. It just snowed like crazy this morning and shut everything down. Anyway, so as fate would have it, this is the last class that I'll teach for Dixie State University. I've decided to kind of hang my hat up there and move on. So that being said, let's get into this week's module, what it is I'm going to ask you to do. The first thing I want you to get into is the James Foley story. James Foley is, oh, go away, please. There we go. I'm using a trackpad here to go through and navigate this. James Foley was a remarkable photojournalist who had more passion for his craft than he did to make money with that craft, and he met an extremely unfortunate demise as a result of his dedication to his work as a photojournalist. In order for you to watch this, you'll need to probably pull it up on YouTube. It'll cost you $3.99. It has been on HBO. I've seen it, I think, as on Hulu as well. If you have a streaming service, maybe you can give that a shot and see if it's there. If not, $3.99. You didn't have to buy a textbook for this class, so drop in the bucket that way. So watch the James Foley story, and then when you're done with that, I want you to go through and comment. I have created a discussion here called James Foley, and this isn't graded. I'm just looking to see what might have resonated with you after watching the story. Some people have been very inspired by it. I've have two alums who have gone on to a career in photojournalism with his inspiration as well. And that's not really what I'm looking for. I just want to know, what was it about this guy that maybe resonated with you? Maybe it was nothing. Or maybe, it's he's made it so you can't sleep tonight. Who knows? But I just want to know what you have to say about that. Take a look there. Going back to the module then for week 5. There is a clip here on shooting for layout. This gets into different shots for the photo essay, like an establishing shot, a medium shot, a detail shot, a close-up, an extreme close-up, those kinds of things. And this puts it into the context of photojournalism. So if you go through and do that, and then you'll notice right after that then is the assignment for this week, which is shoot for layout. There I go again. Okay, shoot for layout. This has some tiny photos in it of what I'm talking about. Like here's a wide establishing shot. This is along the Pacific Coast Highway. This is, I think, the Bixby Bridge. We're doing a motorcycle trip here. This is my wife and daughter. So it goes a wide shot, it goes kind of a medium shot, and then it goes a semi close-up. And then here's a close-up. Actually, it's a wide angle close-up that we see on that. Anyway, it gets into what it is that I'm asking you to do here for that assignment here within the rubric, okay? If you have any questions on that, feel free to go through and email me or go into the questions blog. After that, I have, there are 2 posts here, one composition for the interview and the second one composition for landscape. Composition for the interview gets into some tips and techniques in shooting. If you're shooting video for an interview, this is what this is talking about. We're going to get into some video a little bit later on within the semester of how to go through and shoot an interview, and I'm hoping this will go through and give you some hints there. This gets into this idea of anticipation, what that means, illumination, how to light for an interview. And I'm kind of introducing you here to 3-point lighting. We're going to get into that a lot more as we get into feature news. And then here you can see a Rembrandt lighting here on matte. There's quite a story here involved with this photograph as well. And then now you know some of the rules to go through and break the rules there. So there's that light reading on composition for the interview. And then lastly for this week, I would like you to read composition for landscape. And again, this gets into some rudimentary approaches using the rule of thirds and other approaches for shooting landscape. I've shot Zion Canyon for 30 years, and I've never been happy with what I've been able to pull out of there. But this uses some of those, some of that take for that to explain what it is that I'm getting into, as talking about the overall contrast. Zion's a tough place to shoot in because it's a very contrasty place. Depending on the time of day, a lot of it's in shadow, and then the top parts are in highlights. Anyway, I'll let that speak for itself. I talk about the rule of thirds in this, and then get into figure ground relationships and some other ideas here. So if you would take a look at that, reason being is because it might show up on a test that you have a midterm coming up here in a couple of weeks. So that's all I'm looking for you to do. If you have any other questions here, you know where to find me. Make sure you post in the discussion, if you would please, about Jim Foley as we study the life of a photojournalist. I've talked about several in preceding video clips, and I'm hoping maybe you are keeping more of an eye out. Who are the photojournalists that catch your eye as you peruse what's going on? And if you're not perusing what's going on, you need to. You need to be current here so you have a better idea maybe of the context of photojournalism. All right? Okay. Thanks for watching. Okay, we'll see you next week.